Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chief Justice Roberts to administer the presidential oath of office.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
And will, to the best of my ability.
And will, to the best of my ability.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
President Trump capping his comeback by returning to the White House after 4 criminal indictments and 2 assassination attempts.
And in his inaugural address, Trump listed his priorities while vowing a golden age for the country, which begins today. Golden age for the country, which begins today. We're taking a live look right now, Washington, D.C., where President
and Trump's message to America. Morgan.
Bianca, Natasha, President Donald Trump was sworn in at around noon today because of the frigid cold temperatures for the first time in 40 years. The inauguration was moved indoors to the Capitol Rotunda. Now, Trump, in his second inaugural address, declared that the next 4 years will be a golden age for the United States of America. Trump blamed his predecessor for what he called a decline in common sense and said he will act quickly on policies like immigration, energy, diversity, and more. Trump says he wants to leave behind a legacy of that of a peacemaker and a unifier. Now, Trump began his day at a prayer ceremony at St. John's Church. Afterwards, both him and First Lady Melania with President Joe Biden and Jill Biden for a ceremonial tea at the Executive Mansion. Then all 4 headed to the Capitol, where for the first time in 40 years, the inauguration was held at the Capitol Rotunda. Inside, there were only around 600 guests. In the front row sat tech CEOs like Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, and Elon Musk. Then behind them sat Trump's cabinet. Vice President J.D. Vance was sworn in first. He is now the first millennial to be vice president. Then Trump, using both his own family Bible and the Bible used by President Abraham Lincoln at his 1861 inauguration, was sworn in as the 47th president. Following the swearing-in ceremony, Biden departed D.C. on a plane to California, telling supporters before he left that the fight's not over. Meanwhile, Trump headed to the president's room to sign his first batch of documents, and a little later today, he plans to sign dozens of executive orders following through with his campaign promise that he would take action within hours of taking office.
We will not be intimidated. We will not be broken. And we will not fail. From this day on, the United States of America will be a free, sovereign, and independent nation. We will stand bravely. We will live proudly. We will dream boldly. And nothing will stand in our way because we are Americans. The future is ours. $500 billion, ripped it out of the United States. And not only that, if you take a look, intellectual property theft. Add that to it, and add a lot of other things to it. So somebody had to do it. I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it. And our golden age has just begun. One. Somebody had to do it. Somebody had to do it. And our golden age has just begun. One. And nothing will stand in our way because we are Americans. The future is ours. And our golden age has just begun. Has just begun. Has just begun.
I was just putting up a piece about Elon Musk and his salute. I think he did it twice, and somebody said it wasn't a fascist salute; it was a Roman salute. The Roman salute, first of all, was a contrived bit of history, which goes back to paintings in the 18th century. But secondly, the Roman salute was the source of the fascist salute. I think it was adopted in about the mid-1920s by Mussolini.
A hand gesture by billionaire Elon Musk during a speech at Donald Trump's inauguration is causing controversy, with some comparing it to a fascist salute. Let's take a look at a celebratory rally in Washington while thanking the crowd. There you see it, the world's richest man slapping his right hand to his chest and extending his arm outward in a gesture that resembled a Nazi salute. Musk then turned to the audience behind the podium and repeated the gesture, as we've just seen.
This is what victory feels like. Yeah! And this was no ordinary victory. This was a fork in the road of human civilization. Okay. You know, there are elections that come and go. Some elections are, you know, important, some are not. But this one, this one really mattered. And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you. Can you imagine how awesome it will be to have American astronauts plant the flag on another planet for the first time? Bam! Bam! Yeah!
It's through the right way, and they actually build something and they add to what America truly is. That is success.
Whether I was a national security prosecutor, a public defender, President Trump's deputy director of national intelligence, his chief of staff at the Department of Defense, or so many other roles that I was humbled and privileged to serve when I swore an oath to that Constitution, which I hope to do so again one day soon. You have my word that you have ushered in a dynasty of change. You have ushered in a dynasty that will allow our children to live this American dream. You've inspired me beyond words. Your love, your devotion, your commitment to our country, everywhere I go, shows us that we are not only the beacon of hope, but we are the land of constitutional justice. We are the land under Donald J. Trump and J.D. Vance where we are going to end the two-tier system of justice. We are going to remove the weaponization of the intelligence community for political purposes. And we are going to put the men and women of America first.
The so-called Roman salute is performed by stretching forward the right hand, with palm down and fingers touching.
Yo, what's up everybody? I thought I would hop on here because the rest of this video, it took me about an hour and a half to make, but the rest of it I can't really describe without, narrating the rest of what I wanted to say regarding this kind of context. But watching the inauguration speech just yesterday, there is a lot of the ancient world coded if you pay attention to really what's going on. So in essence, if you watch it, you'll get the conclusion that the certain phrases and mannerisms they do has a kind of parallel to the ancient world. In essence, the ancient world was coded in this inauguration ceremony, swearing in ceremony. The whole 9 yard has everything surrounding it. And from what it looks like, it's a resurrection of the Roman Empire. Now, something to note. I brought it up to the Hebrew Israelites a bunch of different times. They don't really pay too much of mind to it, but other than like offhand, off YouTube, off stream discussions that I've had with people, mainly on Discord, revolving, the resurrection of the Roman Empire and the people that derive from that, and, the races of men that derive also from that, such as, the kingdom of Edom, or the Idumean, or Idumea. I've brought it up to them numerous times regarding, this kind of topic, because they talk about this, in a lot of discussions and stuff that they usually bring up. And I usually get thrown out, the window, regarding, these kind of topics. Nobody ever really listens to me. But I think in the last year and a half or so, I've came up with, the conclusion and idea. I don't know if I can really vouch for it, but the parallels with the color coordination and, the people who derive from the, this noble bloodline and noble families, the nobility, the royal elite that were tied to the papal bloodlines and, the Roman Empire. Because even though the Roman Empire fell, these families are still around today. And if you read some of the books that talk about, the ancient Edomite Empire and where did they go, what happened to them, and where are they at today, well, if you look into it, you'll come to, this crossroads where during, their empire, when it fell, they assimilated into the Israelite colonies, into the Israelite kingdoms. They took on the Israelite religion. They became Jews in essence. But in another limelight, they went also elsewhere and started their own kingdom. So when they circa back to Israel, the Roman occupation, they correlated back with their brethren that assimilated into the Israelite, religion and peoples, because these were their own. They flocked back into their, their tribal kinsmen, and from there, they occupied the region, and history is so on history. But when the Jews scattered, the Jews, quoting the Jewish families that were still in the Roman Empire, never dispersed. They still lived in Rome, and there were still some that stayed in the region because, their brethren still occupied the region, even though, the temple and everything fell, 70 AD, the story. But as it goes, my idea is that, in essence, that if you read the Old Testament, it correlates Edom with the color of red. Well, if you look back at the Roman Empire, especially the Greeks and the Spartans, the color red is all over the place. The Spartans were red, the Athens, like all over Greece, the color red was prevalent. Same as the Roman Empire, their national like emblem and stuff revolving around them had the color red. Like if you look up the Roman Empire today and like Spartans, you'll find the color red all over the place. Also, if you look into some of these like noble families, I'll get into one in a moment that dispersed off of the Roman Empire that are still around today. But if you look into the noble bloodlines, the Bogier family, you'll see the color red. I believe it's a rose. The Red Cross organization. Also, some of these families use the Red Cross, the red rose. You'll see like red swords. You'll see the color red prevalent throughout a lot of these noble families and their emblems and coat of arms they have. But one of these ancient families nowadays that had part in the establishment of Israel during World War II. If you watch my video that I posted, it's a repost. I've also edited into a few of my Saturn-related videos by David Icke. He goes into, the establishment of Israel, and he briefly mentions the Rothschilds. Well, Rothschilds means red shield. You see what I'm saying? And their coat of arms and like their family logos use the color red. So you'll see a reoccurrence of these Roman, Italian, Mediterranean families along with these Roman Greco-Jewish families as well. Both of these simultaneously are coexisting with each other. If you still look at it today, a lot of them are still involved with each other. And, that had me thinking not too long ago that what if these, this is the modern Edomite bloodline? And, you can connect these families back to many of the modern political structures and governments of today. If you look at like communism, socialism, Russia, the Soviet Union, the Bolshevik movement, a lot of these other, political and government institutions, you'll all see the color red reoccurrence all over the place. And that just had me thinking, like, why is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is that a thing? So I just wanted to bring that up to the discussion. I don't necessarily know how to format that in, the kind of like video that I just did. So I thought I would hop on here, briefly mention that. If anybody wants me to explore, this kind of topic later on, I would definitely will. But more or less, this is revolving around the inauguration. And as I mentioned, that this definitely is a resurgence of a resurrected Roman Empire. So I definitely guarantee you we'll be seeing more of these coded messages, occurrences that kind of correlate, the ancient world into the modern world. And we're seeing that right now with the Saturn references and, the Roman salutes that Elon Musk is doing. Because he didn't do that, nonchalantly. It was definitely intended. And they're letting you know what's going on. So with that being said, stay tuned. This definitely is a resurrected Roman Empire. And if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments, and I'll be sure to get back to y'all. So, yeah, stay tuned.